Hip Hop Talk, what up? ThisisJheat here, and I wanted to do this video for you guys because there's a lot of things going on in hip hop today. Today is July 28th, 2015, and last week we had the Meek Mill Drake incident, the little beef that they got going on, if you want to call it a beef. I don't necessarily call it a beef, but the little combative situation that they have going on is something that came out of nowhere, came out of left field, and it occurred because Meek Mill got emotional and sensitive on Twitter. Now, one thing that I've learned about Meek Mill is that he's a street rapper. He's a real aggressive dude when it comes to his flow on a mic and shit. But he, for whatever reason, has a really sensitive heart and is emotional. He's an emotional dude. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, he showcases his love publicly to about Nicki Minaj and to Nicki Minaj. You know, he's out there being vulnerable and really expressing himself emotionally to her, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I actually applaud him for doing so because a lot of dudes don't, and that's kind of a sad thing. And the reason why is because if you actually genuinely love someone, if you really genuinely give, you know, two fucks about them, you care about them so much, there's no reason that you shouldn't want to share that with the world and be vulnerable to a point. Okay, so it could end up hurting you in the long run if she doesn't have those same emotions and you know, if the feeling's not mutual, then she could hurt. You know, she could do something that could hurt you, and that could tear you down. So that, I understand why people don't get to that stage, but at least it shows that he has a genuine love and admiration for this woman. So but aside from that, look, the guy got emotional on Twitter. He's done it before with Wale when he had a situation with Wale because Wale didn't tweet R.I.P. Meek Mill or not R.I.P. damn, my bad. But he didn't tweet free Meek Mill when Meek Mill was locked up, or it was an album that dropped or something. He didn't tweet it. Some shit. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know he got upset and went on a Twitter rant coming at Wale. So that was that. And now you have him doing the same thing with Drake. You know, him and Drake get on the same camp. Him and Wale was on the same camp, so I'm sure they figured it out. You know, squashed it. Rick Ross got in between like, yo, y'all brothers, what the hell's going on here? This shit is stupid. You don't need to be on Twitter calling him a fuckboy. Pick up the phone, give him a call, express your feelings privately. Don't put it out there for the public to see. Now with him and Drake, not the same situation, but still another situation where they've been they've collaborated on projects or on songs in the past. Since like 2012 when they did Amen, they've worked together. So it shouldn't have been a situation where he went on something like Twitter, which is public domain, and shared his thoughts on, you know, Drake in terms of having a ghostwriter, because that's what this all stems from. He believes that Drake had a ghostwriter or didn't write his verse for Rico, which is on Meek Mill's new album, and so he had a problem with that, as well as he had a problem with Drake not tweeting his album out. So those two things led him to say, you know what, I'm going to air this man out. I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm going to say he doesn't write his own shit. Don't compare me to him because I write my own shit. He's got a ghostwriter, yada, yada, yada. Now, here's my thoughts on this situation. I know Meek Mill writes his own shit. It's pretty apparent. Drake also writes his own shit. He does not have a ghostwriter that writes everything for him. So for people to even think that Drake doesn't write his own shit is kind of idiotic to me. To believe that this man like literally has a ghostwriter writing all his shit, like he's just a performer and writes nothing. But if you know music the way that I do, if you follow music the way that I do, you would see that the man has written hits for other people. Okay, not only himself. Now, yes, that's not to say that he doesn't get songs written for him, because there are songs like Hold On, We're Going Home, and others in which he didn't write those songs. That song was a Majid Jordan song that he liked. He decided to perform. Obviously, it's going to do much better if Drake performs it than if Majid Jordan performs it, because Majid Jordan is fair or relatively unknown. Okay, he's known if you like OVO and shit, but if you're not into OVO, you probably don't know Majid Jordan. Everybody fucking knows Drake. So the song went on to become a #1 hit. It was a smash, and that's that. He didn't write it. Okay, but it's not like he tried to make it seem as if he wrote it. You know, on the credits, if you look at the credits, Majid Jordan is credited right there. Okay? Same with Quentin Miller. Any song that Quentin Miller worked on with him, the credits are right there. A ghostwriter does not get any writing credits. Why? Because the artist doesn't want you to know that there was another writer besides the artist on that song. Okay? So that's what a ghostwriter is. A ghostwriter is not credited for the writing they do on a project. All right, so Drake obviously writes his own shit, but just like everybody else, he obviously gets some assistance as well. Now, again, that's not to say that he's getting full songs written for him, unless again it's something like a "Come Home, Hold On, We're Going Home" type song, or another one of these singing songs. Yes, he might get some help. Lil Wayne didn't write fucking Prom Queen. Lil Wayne didn't fucking write what's that fucking song? Lollipop. He didn't write Lollipop. These are smash hits. These guys write the verses, the bulk of the verses that they spit in their rhyming, they write that shit. Some of these songs where there's melodic and they're singing and shit, they don't write. So I'm not saying all of them, but some of them they don't. Okay, and Drake didn't write "Hold On, We're Going Home" and a couple other of his songs, but for the most part, he wrote majority of his shit. Okay, and then Quentin Miller may have assisted with songs like "Tin Bands" and so on and so forth, but still Drake is doing the bulk of his writing. And then another thing is, when you're in a studio, generally you'll have other people in the studio with you. You might say something, and then somebody might have an idea like, yo, you know what if you switch this around and then you say that instead, or you say this, you should take that out and replace that with this. And if the artist is cooperative or willing to listen to the opinions of other people, then they may just say, you know what, that actually sounds kind of dope, I'm gonna try that and do it, and it might sound better than the original idea they had in the first place. And if that's the case, guess what, that person that gave that idea could get writing credit on that song, because if that person didn't give that idea, that song wouldn't be the way it is. It would be the way it originally was, which was all the artist's idea. So that's another thing that happens in music. Okay, so it's not like we're just sitting here, or a person is just sitting there as an artist, blindfolds on, not thinking of, not caring about what anybody else says, not listening to the advice or the opinions of any other person. No, they get ideas thrown to them all the time by other people. That doesn't mean that they take and run with them, or that they're getting full songs given to them, but that they take the ideas that they may add to a certain song or whatever, because it may enhance it. So that shit happens. So if you're one of those people under the impression that Drake lost all respect and yada because he doesn't write his own shit, stop being idiotic. Like, seriously, the nigga writes his own shit. Okay, doesn't write everything, but he writes the majority of it. Okay. You can say the same thing for any other artist. Doesn't matter who it is. Everybody gets some assistance in one way or another. Okay. And then you got people like Dr. Dre, who literally doesn't write at all. And then he, like, every song is written by somebody else. So, and now he has ghostwriters. I don't know if all these guys get credit and shit, but it's pretty apparent that he has ghostwriters. Bow Wow, for back in the day. You listen to old Bow Wow when he was a kid, he wasn't writing his own shit. He was a little boy. The reason JD signed him was because he was the adorable little boy who he knew girls would go crazy over and shit. And so he was kind of pimping them, to be honest with you, making money off of the adorable little boy, having T.I. write for him, having Snoop write for him, and so on and so forth. If you listen to the flow, you can tell. Lil' Kim, another example. She can't think of the damn album. It's not La Bella Mafia, but it's the album after La Bella Mafia with Put Your Lighters Up and shit on it. She has 2 songs on there that I know for sure was written by T.I. Apparent as hell. If you know T.I.'s flow, if you know how he uses his words and put his words together and shit, she sounds exactly like T.I. Now, I never really went as far as to see if he was credited, but I'm almost guaranteeing that he wasn't, because Lil' Kim wants it to be, she wants to be known as the person that writes her own rhymes and shit. She always talking about how Biggie didn't write her bars and yada yada yada. There's no need to lie, fam. If you getting your bars written for you, you're getting your bars written for you. It is what it is. But she just wants to make it seem as if she doesn't. But either way, the song that I'm talking about from Lil' Kim is I'm as real can get. You can get what you see is what you get. Yeah, that song. That's the sample. And she's rapping on it sounding exactly like T.I. Like dead ass. So I think it's called I know you hear me on the scene. I'm not gonna try to remember. But either way, if you want to look it up, look up Lil' Kim Lighters Up album. They sampled some song. And the song might be called What You Get or something. I can't remember. But man, that's pretty much it. That's what's going on in hip hop right now. You got the Meek Mill and Drake situation. Meek Mill was supposed to respond to Drake's Charged Up that wasn't so charged up, but he didn't. He was supposed to respond yesterday. He went to Funk Master Flex, saying, you know what, I'm gonna have you dropping bombs all over this heat that I'm about to drop for you on Monday. And then Monday came, and Monday we waited, and Monday went, and we got nothing. What's up, Meek, man? What's up, man? All we got was that fucking you screaming in the background, shit on some got him type shit. I didn't want that, man. I wanted a diss record at Drake because it was exciting for the hip hop culture. It was something that people was waiting for. People was amped. People was like, yo, this shit is getting real, fam. It's getting real. But it didn't really get so real. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If Meek does drop it, maybe he doesn't. Maybe they talked it out and they're cool now. Because that tends to happen with Meek Mill. He goes on his Twitter rants because he gets emotional. Then he sits with the person, they converse, and then it's ended, it's squashed, and you don't hear anything else about it. So, I mean, we did at least get one diss record kind of from Drake. It was a Drake type diss record. It wasn't nothing crazy. But I have heard him go harder on some diss records before. Before he became megastar Drake, back in like 2008, he was beefing with some Toronto cats. Some rapper, I can't remember his name, and then also a singer by the name of VO or Voice. He had diss records at those two. So if you want to hear another type of diss record from Drake, you can go listen to those. I'm sure they're still online circulating somewhere. So you can look those up. But otherwise, Charged Up, you can definitely listen to that. It's not hard, but he does take a few jabs at Meek, here and there. Got a couple bars. He kind of disses Funk Flex a bit too. Saying that he should let DJ Clue drop some bombs on it, so on and so forth. But that's pretty much it, man. That's my opinion on it. I don't really see it really becoming a big thing. Like, they're not gonna get violent from it. It's not gonna be a Tupac Biggie type situation. Hell, it's not even gonna get as serious as Nas and Jay got. Cause they was getting personal. Like Jay's talking about leaving condoms on the baby seat of his daughter's car, on the car seat and shit, from fucking his baby mom. Like, oh, shit got ill. But hey, I don't really see this getting to that level. Everybody today, like they say, everybody's kumbaya, singing around a campfire and shit. And I personally don't have a problem with that. I don't need all my rappers to be beefing with each other. Like, for what? If life's too short, to be having grudges, to be beefing, to be fighting, all this other nonsense. Just live your life, get your money, I get my money. We ain't gotta fuck up each other's money, and if we don't do that, we're fine. That's pretty much it. So, look, this is ThisisJheat. You can check out a podcast I'm starting with my cousin, actually, called the Bro Cuz Podcast, and we're gonna be covering a multitude of topics and discussions, or discussing things like, hip hop, what's going on in the culture, just in general, music, entertainment, as well as political things that are happening and affecting the black community, shit that's going on in the world, like the Sandra Bland incident and shit that really kind of hits home to me, to my cousin, and to you. So, if you're interested, I'll always have a link for our Bro Cuz podcast below these ThisisJheat videos, so you'll be able to listen to full out conversations about these things with me and another guest, me and my cousin, and maybe a guest or two, and get entertained at the same time. So that's that. I don't have anything yet, but I will soon in terms of the podcast. So be on the lookout for the Bro Cuz podcast. This is ThisisJheat, and I'll see you on my next video. Deuces.